In this video, we're going to be talking about how Sam Altman just got fired from OpenAI and got replaced by the current CTO, as well as how Apple and Disney, among other companies, are stopping their advertising on X because of certain things that Elon Musk has said. Now with that, let's get right into it. Now this is a new type of video where I'm going to be trying to decipher the signal from the noise. Now I talk about this idea of deciphering the difference between signal and noise quite frequently. And the reason it's so important is because you need to understand what the difference is between the noise being just the news that is out there just trying to get clicks every single day on something trendy or something popular or controversial. And you need to figure out the difference between the stuff like that and the stuff like the signal, being the information that is actually going to move us forward or have a drastic impact on someone's life, or in this case, your investments. So in this type of video, I'm just going to go over a couple news events and give my opinion on whether or not it's a lot of noise or it's actually signal that we should be listening to and taking into account when making decisions going forward. Now, first, let's start off with the breaking news that Sam Altman was fired from OpenAI. OpenAI has been on everyone's mind with their new ChatGPT tool that gained 100 million users at a record pace and is now implemented into many of Microsoft's products and has even stirred some commotion among Google because now they have to come out and try and create a product that can compete with that. And with Sam Altman being one of the founders, it's quite shocking to a lot of people that he was fired by the board on Friday after trading hours. And there's been plenty of rumors about what actually happened behind the scenes and whether or not Sam Altman was committing fraud or doing something else nefarious. But all we have to go off of right now at the moment is what OpenAI has come out and said. And what they said is that Mr. Altman's departure follows a deliberative review process by the board, which concluded that he was not consistently candid in his communications with the board, hindering its ability to exercise its responsibilities. Now, these are somewhat strong words, saying that essentially Sam Altman had lied and misled the board at some point that even warranted him being fired. And there's also other rumors and speculations coming from his sister that she experienced sexual, physical, emotional, verbal, financial, and technological abuse from her siblings, which were mostly from Sam. She also made some other allegations saying a lot of things that are looking really bad for him at the moment. And I think it's important to keep in mind that as of right now, all of this is speculation. There's no charges brought on him. He hasn't gone to court. All the evidence has not been reviewed. This is just the instant reaction of everybody taking in this big news. Now, personally, if we're all having a turn, putting on our tinfoil hats, I think that Microsoft had some role in this termination of Sam Altman. Because I think that the ownership that Microsoft has of OpenAI at the moment is not satisfactory to their long-term goals. And I don't find it too crazy to think that they would want someone in the CEO position that had Microsoft's best intentions in mind and were willing to cooperate in integrating all of OpenAI's products into Microsoft's suite of products. Now again, this is just speculation and I have no actual evidence to back this up, but at the end of the day, I don't think that this information really has much credence to it because the product didn't change at all just by him being fired. And with Microsoft owning a vast majority of OpenAI, I don't think it really changed the long-term trajectory of where OpenAI is headed to. Now over the next few weeks and months, we'll just have to wait and see what really happens and what really happened behind the scenes to make Sam Altman being fired. But until then, I think it's just noise that we should kind of ignore because it's not worth selling or buying into any company just because Sam Altman was fired from OpenAI. Now moving on, we also have the news that Apple and Disney have stopped their advertising on X, formerly known as Twitter, because of some of the comments that Elon Musk has made on Twitter regarding some of the social issues that many are talking about right now. I'm not here to give my opinion on the political or religious aspect of everything that was said and who's in the right and who's in the wrong and what line was crossed. But when companies start shifting their advertising spend, I think it's worth talking about the other consequences that could be had to the companies that he owns and operates. Now first, in 2023, if you're buying and selling because of some of the stupid stuff that Elon Musk says, I really think that you should question your investment strategy because he has consistently had hot takes and said things that were sometimes ill-informed or lacked nuance that made a lot of people offended and affected all the companies that he owns and operates in. And personally, I don't think that it's worth buying or selling Tesla stock just because he said some stupid stuff on Twitter. Because at the end of the day, as long as he can operate a business and generate shareholder value, that's all that really matters in the investment industry. That's not to say we can excuse anything he says as if it's horrendous or just flat out wrong, but it is to say that as an investor, in a company that Elon Musk owns, you have to take this risk into account because he's been pretty consistent with doing things like this in the past. Now, given these two pieces of news coming out on Friday, I just think that investors are so trigger happy to make any decision, whether that's to buy or to sell. And that although it's not sexy or entertaining, the best strategy in investing might be just to hold off, have some patience, and zoom out and figure out what information is really important and what portion of it is just the noise. And in my opinion, I think that both of these pieces of news are just noise, because I don't think it changed the trajectory for any of the public companies that we are invested in. And if you somehow own Twitter as a private company, I'm sure you have a lot of support for Elon Musk, regardless of what he comes out and says on Twitter. So with that, that's all I had in this video. I know it's a little bit of a shorter one, but I wanted to come out and start this new type of video because I think it's important to understand that not every piece of news deserves action in your portfolio or even deserves a little bit of your headspace. And I hope that discussing this in a cool-tempered way, removing the emotions, can make us more informed and better executing investors. And if you like this new form of content, please let me know in the comments section. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.